Hi, it's Ike from Groovy Entertainment. Today we got another book to read for you. Today's book is The 101 Dalmatians from 1986. So let's get started. Hi, my name is Pongo. This is my master, Roger Rodcliffe. He is a magician. You can see that right away. All he needs to keep himself happy is his piano and his pipe. We got along fine. While he's writing songs, I think I have got nothing against having a good dinner, a few pats on the back from Rogers, a short walk and a cozy blanket to sleep in. But somehow it's just not enough. I need to think. And while he's working, I think and I think. In fact, that's how this story begun. It was a sunny spring day. The park in front of the house was full of people walking. I was bored, but Roger was too busy with his music to notice that what we needed was a companion. There was lots of choices from. I used to watch them from the window every day. Miss Poodle, no too snobby, and I was sure Roger would not care for her mistress. That Afghanist wasn't too bad, but she looked a bit snotty. And as for her mistress, no, not quite right for Rogers. It's no, it's no joke trying to find the other half of a couple, especially when you are looking for a pair. Ah, now this is better. Look at those two. Perfect. A sleek looking animal of my own disguising breed. A Dalmatian. She was lovely that my heart missed a few beats. And as for her mistress, not bad at all. Tall, elegant, and she carries a book. Must be a brainy type, just like Rogers. If only Roger could see her, but he's too busy with his music. They are going away, quick. I can't let those two get away. How am I going to get Roger's attention? I have got it. Just push the clock hand forward with my paw. When Roger sees the time, he'll take me for my daily walk. Clever idea, don't you think? But unfortunately, he's not looking at the clock. He's too busy tinkling away at the piano. Looks like I'll have to make some noises myself. Woof woof, I barked. Hurry, master. It's time for my walk. I'm not usually so pushy, but this was an emergency. Roger looked up from the piano. Time for your walk already? All right, let's go. There was no time to waste. I grabbed his hat in my lead and carried them to him in my mouth. I was at the door in a flash, my tail wagging like mad. I spotted them as soon as we entered the park, but Roger decided to sit down beside the pond. I had to do something. I grabbed Roger's hat and carried it off to the lady. Woof woof, here's a present. It's from that man sitting over there. Roger wandered over and started to apologize. He's a silly dog. I'm sorry if he's bothered you. Oh no, really, it's quite all right, she replied. Sometimes I wonder about these human beings. They are so slow. While they was busy making small talk, the Dalmatian and I had already decided that this was it. We knew that we were meant for each other. We jumped and danced and ran circles around their legs. Soon our lead became entangled and our human fell into the pond. Oh no, this was trouble. It made it enough, though. They wasn't even angry. In fact, they laughed. They were soaked from head to toe, but they looked happy and later. Well, good, old Rogers. What is so slow after all? Before you could blink an eye, he was acting that lady named to marry him. Sometime I guess I don't give human being enough credit, but it was really and I who had done all the work. The house became a paradise for dogs and their masters. Our peace was shattered one day by the simple ring of the doorbell. He entered the door with us at her heel. In walked a creature wearing a tight satin dress and fur coat. Hello, darling. Remember me? I'm Cruella DeVille. We went to school together, she said, waving her cigarette and fell into place with smoke. Not only that, but she must have been wearing a gallon of perfume. Phew, this was too much for my delicate nose. She finally came to the point of her visit. Darling, I believe that expecting little ones, and you know how much I just adore puppies. You would just keep one for me when she left, and I looked at. We was thinking about our puppies. Sue was thinking about them. I don't think she likes the idea of giving one away to that woman either. When Rogers came home and found us all wearing just sad faces, he decided to cheer us up and begin dancing. And before we knew it, we was all dancing and laughing. Cruella was forgotten, at last for the time being. The big day arrived while was hoping Roger and I went outside the door. We were both pretty nervous. There seemed to be a lot of noises coming from behind the door. Finally came out wearing a big smile. Laid on the cushion with a tired smile on her face. Next to her was 5, 10, 15 little white balls of fluff. Wow, 15 puppies. I was the proudest father on the block. And I was the happiest parent in the world. Rogers even composed a special lullaby for the puppies. Things just couldn't have gotten better. The doorbell rang so loudly that I jumped into Roger's arm. It was Cruella DeVille. She hadn't forgotten us. I heard that in Pongo had 15 puppies. It's just wonderful news, she cried. She looked down at the puppies. How much? She asked, beginning to write a check. I started to tremble, but Roger was firm. He told her none of the puppies were for sale. Cruella became so mad that she splattered ink all over us. When Cruella had left, Roger told that there was nothing to worry about. That woman would never get her hands on the puppies. As the week passed, the puppy spot began to appear. They were a joy to us. They loved to watch television. Their favorite program was about a dog called Thunder. He was a sheriff's dog in the Wild West. We used to gather in front of the television every night. Some of the puppies would climb onto the sofa for a better view. Whenever Thunder came on to the screen, the puppy would bark with excitement. One of the little one Pepper stood on my head and growled at the bandit. Some of the other puppies became frightened and ran away to hide under the sofa. Nanny heard the barking and came into the living room to investigate. I think it's time you was all in bed. Come on now, sleepy time. she said. She began picking up the puppies. Good old Nanny. She was the one who looked after us. She helped with the cooking and dusting the piano for Rogers. She put all the puppies to bed in their back in the kitchen. Now, Pepper, time for you to get some sleep. She gently scolded as she tucked them into bed. It was the hour for our evening shore. Two men were watching from a truck parked outside the house. Okay, there they are. Now it's time to make the move, said one as he saw us walking away. Nanny answered the door. Sorry to disturb you, ma'am, but we have came about the electricity, said the taller one of the two. At this time of night, Nanny exclaimed, come back in the morning. And anyway, there's nothing wrong with the electricity, she said, beginning to close the door. But these men wouldn't take no for an answer. They pushed the door open and went into the house. Don't you dare come in here, shouted Nanny, chasing them into the hall, but they paid no attention. Where do you where do you think you're going? She cried as she grabbed at their coats. The skinny one rushed up the stairs while the other ran toward the kitchen. Oh dear, I wish Master Rogers was here, she cried. What am I to do? Soon the two men found what they was after. It wasn't money or jewels, they were stealing the puppies. The two of them stuffed the 15 puppies into a big bag. Let's get out of here before the others come back, said the big man as they ran out of the back door. Hearing the door slam, Nanny rushed into the kitchen. When she saw the puppy empty buckets, she began to cry. As soon as Roger heard the terrible news, he picked up the phone and called the police. Our 15 Dalmatian puppies have been stolen. You must help us get them back, Roger explained to the policeman. I don't know who could have done this, but please, you must find them for us. The next morning, Cruella DeVille read of the puppy kidnapping in the newspaper. She was grinning from ear to ear. She picked up the telephone, congratulating, boys, you did a good job. I'll be coming in the morning, she said, and she put down the phone. In the meantime, and I decided to take things into our own hand. We went out to look for our friends. They helped us. Danny the Great Dane and his sidekick, Scotty, was the first to come running, who'd been kidnapped. Asked Danny. I can't believe it, said Scotty. Don't worry, we'll tell the others. And soon enough, the dogs began hollering. The message would pass on from dog to dog. What a commotion. With all the noises, no one got much sleep that night. On the other side of the city, Old Trouser and his pal Lucy the goose picked up the news. What about 15 puppies? Said Old Trouser, who was a bit deaf. Someone stole Pongo and puppies. Lucy screeched into his ears. Well, stop and let us get to work, said the old Trouser, as he ran to the top of the highest hill in the city. Old Trouser barked a message to all the dogs while Lucy alerted the other animals. The news reached the farm where Colonel the sheepdog lived. The colonel and his partner, Tibbs the cat, was famous throughout the animal war. They were a team of 8 detectives, and this was a job for the experts. Captain the horse was the first to pick up the message. He and his buddy Tibbs woke the colonel. There's an urgent message from London. Listen. All three perked up their ears. Is it war, asked Captain? Are already ready for battle? No, it's a kidnapping. Puppies, 15 dalmatians. Puppies, last night, said the colonel. Tibbs scratched his ears. Funny, last night while I was prowling around Hell Hall, I heard some yapping. The light was on and smoke was coming from the chimney. Said the colonel. That place been empty for years. Sound like something fishy is going on there. Did you say you heard yapping? Sounds sure like dogs to me, said Tibbs. I think this calls for an investigation, said the colonel. Come on, Tabs, let's go have a look. Tibbs jumped on the colonel's back, and off they tugged through the snow. Look, paw prints, lots of them, said the colonel, sniffing the snow near the desert mansion. And there's a light on over there in the window, whispered Tibbs. Silently, the two detectives creeped up around the side of the abandoned building. Where they reached the window, they both looked in and spotted the dalmatians. What a scene! In a sofa sat a sneezy-looking character with a bottle of wine in his hand. Surrounding him was 10, 15, 20, 50, maybe more little dalmatians. I thought you said 15 puppies was kidnapped, whispered the colonel. That's right, the message says 15. What are the rest of these puppies doing here? Replied Tibbs. You go in and find out what's going on. I'll go back and send a message to Pongo, said the colonel. He headed back to the farm. Meanwhile, inside the house, the puppies was all gathered in front of the TV. They didn't know where they was, nor who the other pups was, but at least there was a television. Ted found a hole in the wall and creeped into the room. This is crazy, he thought. How am I ever going to tell which of these puppies belong to Pongo? They all look alike to me, and there are so many of them. There must be almost 100. You over there, what's going on here? Tib hissed into the ear of one of the puppies. The puppy listened to Tibbs. It's brained about the kidnapping. I don't know any Pongo, said the puppy. A lady bought me and my brothers in London. I have been here for a couple of days, but there was some other puppy that arrived a few hours ago. That's them in front of the television. I think there were 15 of them. Tad became excited when he heard this. I must get near the television, but how am I going to get past that man? Tim tiptoed up to the chair just as he was at the top. The man moved. Maybe if I stay perfectly still, he won't know I'm here, thought Tibbs as he froze beside the wine bottle. Without looking, the man reached for his wine. He grabbed Tibbs by the neck. Oh no, now I'm in big trouble, thought the cat. Her, the robber didn't realize what he was doing. He was about to take a swig when Tibbs let out a large meow. Was stunned that he dropped the cat. Tibbs shot off like a flash. Meanwhile, the colonel had passed the news. The message traveled back to the city. Farm dogs told house dogs, and so on until Danny the Great Dane heard the news. The puppy had been found, alive and well, he told Pongo. Where are they? Asked. They are hidden in the deserted mansion near Hell Hole. Spread the word. We are coming, barked Pongo as he and ran off in the direction of their puppies. Back at the mansion, Cruella DeVille was busy counting the puppies. She was thinking of all the lovely coats and hats that their fur would make. Soon, and Japper, the kidnappers, in front of the TV, she began to shout, "I'm not paying you guys to watch TV. Get up, you hoodlums. I want them puppies skinned before tomorrow." Okay, okay, we deal with the puppies as soon as the program's over, said Japper, covering his ears. Tibbs had heard everything. This called for fast action, he thought. There's no time to wait for the other to come. Quick, he hissed at the puppies. Follow me and don't make a peep. You are in danger. You got to get out of here now. The puppy was frightened and did as they were told, all except Lucky, who was busy watching the television. Neither he nor the robber saw what was happening. Their eyes were glued to the TV. Tibbs had never worked so hard. It was no joke trying to get all these puppies out without making a sound. Just as he was pushing the last puppy through the hole, he heard Lucy barking at the TV. Rushing back to get him, he saw that the program was over. The robbers had noticed that the puppies were gone. They began swearing and shouting. At that very same moment, in Pongo was near the mansion. They could hear all the yelling. Hurry, urged Pongo. Something's going on in there. Tibbs had grabbed Lucky and led him off with the others. He rushed down the staircase, looking for a place to hide. Hundreds of little paws were running as fast as they could, some of them troubling over, but not a cry was heard. Tibbs and the puppy hid under the staircase. Shh, whispered the cat, silencing one of the puppies with his paw. He heard growling noises. The others had finally arrived. There was a terrible hollering and screaming as Pongo and rushed into the mansion and attacked. They were so quick that didn't know what hit him. Pongo bared his teeth while snapped that coat. "Leave me alone, I swear I didn't do it. I didn't do anything," cried as he fell to the ground. "What have you done with my puppies?" snored. "Leave this one to me," said Pongo. "You take care of the fat one." Jasper backed away and ran towards them. He was trying to reach for the fire poker. Pepper came to give his mother a hand. The two dogs grabbed corner of the rug and gave it a yank. Whoosh, bam! Jasper had fallen in the front of the fire. "That will keep him out of our way," cried as Pongo and Pepper ran off to find the puppies. Sniff, sniff, Jasper smelled something burning. "Yow, ouch," he screamed, rushing outside, trailing smoke behind him. "This place is haunted," he thought as he sat in the snow. While Pongo was dealing with the crooks, Tibbs had led the puppies to the Colonel farm. This is where the two parents found their puppies. "Look sharp," ordered the Colonel. "You are not out of danger yet. Those two scoundrels will be here at any minute. Hide in the captain's stable. I'll keep watch." Surely enough, no sooner had the dog hidden behind the haystack when Jasper and arrived on the scene. The Colonel watched from the doorway. "Look, more prints," said. "Yeah, but where are those mutts?" replied Jasper, who was carrying a big club. The track led into the stable. "Come on, let's have a look. They won't get away this time," said. The two looked around the stable but found no puppies. You dope, cried Jasper. I thought you said they was here. Well, I saw the print. They can't be far away, replied. Tibbs whispered in the horse's ear. Okay, Captain, now it's your turn to have some fun. Ready, set, go. Captain reared his hind legs. Bam! Jasper and went whizzing over the colonel's head. They landed head first in the snow. Rubbing their swords behind, they stared at the dozen of paw prints. Pongo and the puppies had slipped out by the back of the stable. They ran with all their might, but it wasn't easy for the little ones. Pongo picked up the smallest one up and carried him in his mouth. Ahead of them was a farm. If only they could make it that far. The farm dog had come out to meet him. Look at those little ones, he said to Pongo. You are exhausted. Spend the night in the barn. You can have all the rest and get an early start in the morning. Pongo wanted to keep running, but spoke up. He's right. Look at those poor little things. They must have some rest. Pongo took one look at the shriveling, sleepy pups and had to agree. Okay, we'll stop here for now. Led the puppies into the barn. 2 cows, a bull watched them go by. My, what a big family you have, exclaimed the bull. If you need any milk, I have got plenty, said his wife, one of the cows. Soon everyone settled down to sleep. However, the night was short. They was all up and on the run again at dawn. And the puppy ran ahead, while Pongo stayed behind to sweep away the tracks. Soon he heard 2 cars approaching. It was Cruella de Vil and the 2 crooks. This is our last chance, you numbskull. Follow me into the village. I want the dogs now. Pongo ran to catch up with his family, and the pups had met a friendly laboratory who was hiding them in an old coal shed. In a few minutes, the coal truck was leaving for London. You can ride in the back, he told Pongo. At that moment, Cruella drove by. She was furious. Look, she told him to chill. How will we get in? How will we get in the truck without her seeing us? Whispered Pongo. Simple, said the laboratory. Roll yourself in the coal. Does she look? She's looking for dogs with spots, not black ones. What a great idea. So much fun too. Pongo was first, then the puppy joined in. Soon they were all black from head to tail. Outside there was a sudden screech of the brakes. Cruella had found some tracks. She stopped the engine and called out to Jasper. Look, paw prints. I know they're somewhere around here. Go behind that coal shed. I'll watch from here. You better not bash things up this time, or have your skin. While Cruella was giving her order, Pongo and the puppy followed toward the waiting truck. Cruella was a bit surprised to see so many black puppies. I didn't know they raised laboratory in this village, she mumbled as she watched them go by. Turned to look at the dogs. Wouldn't it be funny if the Dalmatians turned themselves into laboratories? Sure, that would be some miracle, laughed Jasper. Stop babbling like idiots and go find those dogs, screamed Cruella, whose temper would begin to flare. Want more laboratory? She shouted, and at the last batch of puppies ran past the car. They was almost there, just a few more steps, flat. Some melted snow had fallen onto in the puppies. Small white spots was beginning to appear in front of appear on the dog back. Cruella leaned out of the window. Her brain started ticking. White spot on black dogs? Uh, Black spots on white dogs? Of course, those aren't Labradors. Why, you clever dog, she said, but not clever enough. Jasper, over here, look, I think your miracle had come true. They aren't Labrador, they are Dalmatian. Cruella sneered with delight. And the puppy made a dash for the truck. Pongo was waiting to lift them up. Soon they was all inside. The engine roared at the truck, drove off just in time. Cruella laughed as she saw the truck drive off. I'll catch up with that old wreck in no time. This car of mine can run circles around that old heap. Cruella stepped on the gas pedal. Her car raced up next to the truck. She was trying to force it off the road, but she didn't see the bridge up ahead. Before she knew it, her car crashed through the railing and went plunging into the river. The car toppled over in the snow, rolling several times before coming to a halt. Part of the roof and hood had been lost, but Cruella was still behind the wheel and she was madder than ever. Ranting and raving, she clung to the steering wheel as the car raced back up the hill. Nothing was going to prevent her from having her way. Flame burst from the engine as she raced after the truck. Oh no, here she's come, cried. Please, can't you go any faster? She asked the driver. Watch out, shouted Pongo. This blue van is heading this way. But instead of cutting off the truck, Jasper landed right into the other side of Cruella's car. Bang, crash. Cruella and the two crooks were flying through the air. The race was over, and Cruella had lost forever. Several hours later, let out a shriek as a big black dog came running into her living room. She backed up against the sofa and reached out to push the dog away. What's this? She said as she looked down at her hand. They was black. She rubbed the dog's head. Why? She cried with joy. You have come back, and your puppies. Everyone safe and sound, she said, as she gave a big hug. Soon Nanny and Rogers came running into the room. Tears of happiness streamed down Nana's face as she dusted off the little puppies. How did you get yourself in this state? She asked. Now that's a real mystery, said Rogers. I suppose we'll never know. Maybe I can write a song about it. Pongo looked around at the puppies. They would save their story for grandchildren. Counted the puppies. 98, 99. That would make 101, including Pongo. What a family. Everyone was delighted. Even Nanny, who was going to have to look after all these puppies. Roger sat down at the piano and began to play. The puppies listened to the music. This was even better than TV. So that was 101 Dalmatians from 1986. So if you like, subscribe, share, and comment, have a groovy day with another video coming out real soon.